Hey guys, Nick Peterson here, and I'm going to talk to you about the two things that you need to succeed in business no matter what. And let me tell you what I mean. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter how you advertise, how you sell, what you sell. Those all have different methods, they'll have different paths, and they'll have different strategies, right? And so let me give you an example of strategies, okay? And if you ever want to just talk about it, honestly, if you go to velocitycall.com, I will get on the phone with you and I will help you sort this out. I do it for free because honestly, the math still works out. The number of people that I end up helping that make a bunch of money and then come back and want more help is astonishing. So I'm always willing to do this, but let me show you what I mean, because the methods are different, right? The methodologies, the paths, the strategies. And what I mean by that is you might have something like this. Hey, this is like a Fletcher method, which is a great little program. I love Aaron Fletcher is great. I love his stuff. But a Fletcher method program might look like this, okay? Where here's step 1, you graduate to step 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then 9, right? So that's kind of the strategy. That's the method that's being taught, and that's fine. That works for a lot of businesses. So this might be, get your avatar, get your messaging, make a sale, validate, whatever it is, okay? Another thing you might see is like we teach the velocity method this way. This is how we teach the velocity method, right? We want to get your systems thinking, your decision making, execution parameters, and your adapting your learning organization. So that's another method, okay? You see methods like this all the time where it's like, that's bad, bad wasn't good, bad, bad, good, 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 bad, whatever, right? So everybody presents their method, like this is their growth plan, this is the roadmap to get to where you want to be, whether it be an ascension model. We all know Russell Brunson's ascension model, right? Sell this, sell this, sell this, sell this. But there's an underlying thing that moves all this, okay? And then there's really two. There's two things that will make you really hard to beat, no matter what strategy you're following, because most of these strategies are proven, right? They've been time tested, they've been proven, they're presented differently. That's fine, because by showing this kind of strategy, you're saying, hey, there's a system, I get it. Okay, but now, here's the underlying thing that makes this system work. Okay, there's two of them. The first one, execution. Do the thing. That's where a lot of people are dropping the ball. They don't know what to do or when to do it. In this phase, you must execute the steps to get to this phase. In this velocity round, you must execute to build the system, which you must execute to learn. Okay, so execution, doing the right thing at the right time to completion, to take the next step. Phil, what's up, man? Justin Demers, see you jump on here. How you doing? So execution is the first underlying thing. Doesn't matter if you use this kind of plan, you lay out your plan like this, if this is the model, if you have an ascension model, typical, internet marketing, Russell Brunson ascension model, a method to execute makes you top 1%, because most people have this great plan and no way to systematically line it up, knock it down, learn from it, systematize it, move on. Okay, so that's number 1, execution. It makes everything else work. If you do that, you're gonna get ahead. Okay, the second, number 2, the thing that always needs to be refined. Messaging. You have to dial in your messaging. So even if your messaging done right here at the bottom of the ascension ladder, right here in the system, the velocity method that we teach, this would be like Aaron Fletcher's, that's Russell Brunson, it doesn't matter. If you execute step 1 and you move to step 2, or you turn this wheel, or you change to an advanced quadrant, you must refine your messaging, because now you're reaching a broader audience. You might be reaching a higher level audience. You might be reaching a more sophisticated or less sophisticated audience, and you will need new messaging that resonates with your clients here, your prospects there, but also your employees and your vendors and all these other people involved in leveling up, okay? So if you can execute and continuously test your message with a feedback loop, if you execute and fine-tune your message, as you go through this process, you become almost impossible to beat. You really do. It is execute, refine messaging. If you are not consistently refining your messaging, so let's say you run a Facebook ads, YouTube ads, direct mail ads, you're going to events. As you evolve, as you go from this step to this step, or as you go up the ascension ladder, you have to speak to those people differently. Something else might resonate. What's gonna sell this $7 product is different messaging than what's gonna sell this $30,000 mastermind, right? Facebook ads, as for example, as your audience gets wider, you're gonna have to change your messaging to reach colder and colder prospects. You might have, whereas your messaging in the beginning might be buy my thing, because you got a hot audience, it may become more of an indoctrination. This is who I am, this is what I do, come into my ecosystem. So as you go up this ascension ladder, as you turn these wheels, as you advance quadrants or progress through any strategy or system, the only two things you need that will make you unstoppable: a system to execute, a plan, a program, a method of execution, practical application, become a doer, do the thing, do it right, do it to completion, so you can move on, right? And continuously refining your messaging, which is exactly why the two things that all these businesses I've been involved in, all the ones we coach, all the mentorship we do, all the programs we offer, the two things that we've doubled down on and that we think are the most important, that's why we spend all of our time with the velocity method, which is a method of execution, and the network, the mastermind, which is centered around refining your messaging as you go from 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 figures. That's why those are the two things we've always harped on, right? Because it's not about Facebook ads. It's not about the connecting with people. If you connect with people and you don't execute and you have the wrong messaging, it won't matter. So a lot of what we do, and you can too, is it's not a cookie cutter system. It's not a Facebook ad to a webinar to a sales call. It's not a tripwire to a $7 product to a $47 product to a $297 product. Maybe that's what works best for you. We have a woman that is going to do $1 million a month in profit selling $29 hair dye. That's not an ascension model, but we have a plan and we have a system in place to execute and refine messaging. So when you sell hair dye, right, we have a woman that sells millions in hair dye, phenomenal business mind, great business acumen, has crazy hair, colorful hair, obviously. It's about executing the thing, and then the messaging in the beginning is, hey, who has colorful hair, right? I got something for you. But then as you expand, it's, well, I also have this thing for you. And then as you expand, it's, well, you don't have colorful hair, why not? Oh, you think it's not good for you? Well, this is actually a conditioner, right? So the message has to continually refine as the business scales. As she goes through these steps, or the velocity method, or an ascension model, or moves through quadrants, as she goes from $1,000 a month to 10,000 to 100,000, I think she's over $1 million now a month. Let's go 10 million. We're going to have to execute at a high level because margins, and we're going to have to refine the messaging so that the audience continues to respond, okay? So, no matter what, don't jump methods. Quit jumping methods. Whatever method you're doing, keep doing it. You need to build, my suggestion to you is don't change methods. Use the one that's worked. Use the one that you're focused on, but build a system to ensure execution. You can go to velocityclass.com. I show you how to do it. And messaging. Dial in your messaging. And if you want to dial in your messaging, you can also actually go to velocitycall.com. Go to velocitycall.com if you want to fine tune your messaging. And there's an opportunity to get on the phone and talk about it. I won't sell you anything. I'll just help you with your messaging. So that's that. Execute, refine your messaging. That's where the magic is. It's not in a new method. It's not a new strategy. It's not swapping from Ascension to this model, to this model, to this model. It's just executing and continuing to dial in the message. Cool. Go to velocityclass.com. If you want to learn how to execute, go to velocitycall.com. If you want help with your messaging, just jump on the phone with me. I'll freaking talk to you. We'll get it done. We'll get it done quick. Cool.